in 30 seconds.
And now, introducing Casey Carter.
I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up.
Erotic boudoir, adult, intimate, sexy, sensual. Allow AJ and Nick, the dynamic mother-daughter team, to assist you in customizing a personal pleasure package tailored to your intimate needs. They are highly knowledgeable and offer a professional touch. You can visit their store located at 2635 West Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, or browse more discreetly on their website at erotic-boudoir.com. And please be assured that both AJ and Nick are available to answer any questions you may have. Erotic Boudoir, helping you prioritize your pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Casey Carter.
I think for a hot second, I thought the applause weren't going to work. Hey, it's Wednesday, hump day. And this is a special hump day. I have such a super appropriate guest for my hump day, my last Wednesday of May. But first, I want to shout out to my girl, Toxic Goddess. Hola, chica. What's going on, girl? And of course, my ever ready Lorenzo. Thank you, Lorenzo. Appreciate it. So let me see who else we got here. Getting ready for Bermuda. Oh yeah, girl. Yes, safe travels. Have tons and tons and tons of fun on your trip. Shout out to Hustler. Hey, brother. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And yeah, Lorenzo, good reminder for Toxic. Don't hurt the people. You're gonna be in international waters. We need to be able to get you back. So yes. And yes, Duchess Cashmere in the building. All hail to the Duchess. Hey, love. How are you? And I want to get to the 5 reasons to watch Casey quickly because I want to get to my second guest sooner rather than later. Clearing his throat in the background is the voice.
Yes, right.
But hold on, let me tell him who my special guest is. I keep talking about my special guest. Tonight, my special guest is none other than King Heff. But he goes by many names. King Heff, Daddy Heff, DOM, Dirty Old Man. We gonna talk about all them names and all them things. All them things.
All the
That
things.
see, he just said it. Say it again.
All the things.
All the things he be doing. Yes, I've tried to capture some of them things when I'm at Exotica, but we gonna talk about some of them things. But first, ladies and gentlemen, Lorenzo. Lorenzo, say hello to the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Thank you, Lorenzo. Appreciate that. All right. You know what we're here for. Oh, wait, before I forget. So I ran my promo for my five nominations for ASN Lifestyle Magazine Awards, but I would be remiss if I did not say that Lorenzo, it is also nominated. Lorenzo, tell him what you're nominated for.
Ooh, I'm nominated for Best Social Media Influencer.
Now, let me explain to y'all why Lorenzo's in that category. Lorenzo be promoting the hell out of not just my shit, but all of y'all's shit too, okay? You tell Lorenzo you doing something, or if Lorenzo sees you doing something he likes, he gonna run it in the ground.
That's right.
Yes. So make sure you vote not just for me, but for my ride or die, Lorenzo. But Lorenzo, what are we about ready to do? Tell the people.
All right, we're getting ready to hit them with the 5 reasons to watch Casey.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. You let me
here
know
we
when
go.
you're ready, because you know I'm always like trigger happy and jumping the gun and stuff. So I'm gonna wait on you.
All right, if the people are ready. Number 5. To find out what's in Heffs Pussy Doodle cookies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about that. Number 4. To learn the difference between black Heffs and pink Heffs.
There's a difference. Y'all need to know. You need to know.
Yeah. Number 3. To see Casey's pearly white smile.
This right here.
There you go. Number 2. To witness the rare moment Casey's hair isn't blonde.
This right here. Right here. Yeah. We'll get into this, why it's like this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I could actually gray, I would not be blonde. I'd just be gray. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, they better get a good look at you. And the number 1 reason, of course, that everyone is waiting on. The cleavage cam.
Yes, we gonna make it do what it do. Yes. Okay. Yes. Hold on a second here. I've got a very astute viewer here. Yes, Axel Foley. That is lip liner. Thank you for catching that. Appreciate that. Yes. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm gonna jump to a break, and then when I come back, who's on when I come back? Say your name.
Daddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for playing along. All right, y'all. We'll be right back with Daddy Heff, a.k.a. King Heff, a.k.a. DOM. I'm going to let him explain all of them names in a minute, but hold on.
Exotica season, come meet Casey at one or all 4 Exotica locations. Chicago, April 29th through May 1st. Miami, July 15th through July 17th. Edison, New Jersey, October 21st through October 23rd. Washington, D.C., December 2nd through December 4th. Say hi to Casey. Take a selfie with her, maybe an interview, or give her one reason to watch Casey. You might get featured on Cleavage Cam. For more information, visit Exotica at bit.ly/Casey at 3x. And follow Casey at CaseyAtNight on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
All right, I'm back. And before I bring Daddy Heff on, just got a shout out to one of my friends. She became one of my good girlfriends as of last year. And yay, finally got on in time. Ms. Ella Dorsey, also former guest of Casey at Night. Daddy Heff. Hey, Daddy Heff from Ella. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dommy Mommy.
Yes. Hey, boss, finally figured out how to use this chat feature. Virtual hug. Ooh, yes. And hustlers, yes. Smile in that cleavage cam bounce got me. Then I've done my job. I can go home now. Wait, I am home, so I guess we'll do this a little longer. Yeah. And once again, Ella says, "You know I love me some you, girl. We could just, we could do this all night right here, but I gotta bring Daddy Heff on, so we'll do
I
this."
thought you were talking about me too, so you know what I mean.
All right, well, I'll let you get some love too. Hold on, let me bring it to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen. Before I bring Daddy Heff to the stage, let me tell you. Let me show you why I had to have the brother here, so you can see what I see, hear what I hear. Oh, she said, "You too, Daddy." Yeah, see. Anyway, ladies and
She
gentlemen, let
already
me give
know.
you a little video preview of Daddy Heff.
Just a pleasure.
And he's about to engage in some sensual BDSM.
This is a nasty girl.
Okay, now that I'm back on the screen, go ahead, Lorenzo. Give him the pleasure of your intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Heff.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, that young lady, I remember when I was at the booth and she basically just threw that ass at you and was like,
I,
spank it.
I know, right? See, here's my thing. I always tell people I'm very shy and innocent, and I just be minding my business, and they just be coming up to me and asking for things. So if they ask, then I'm going to oblige.
Okay, I call bullshit on the shy and innocent.
What?
Yes.
Case, we've been talking about this for years, and you still say the same thing. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Okay, Don't make me go back to the look on your face. You were biting that bottom lip, tongues wagging. That is not shy and innocent.
What? Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. All right. Just so
Well,
long
once
as
again, okay. So here's the thing: I'm shy and innocent beforehand, right? And then when they come to me, I mean, I have to, I have to get in this bubble with them. You know what I mean? Bring them in and set them free for a little bit.
speaking of,
He's just going deeper and deeper,
I
just
know,
Yeah,
deeper.
and
Yeah,
I'm trying to release him from all the bullshit he's throwing. I'm gonna play a
it's the
little clip.
Virgo in me. It's okay.
I'm gonna play another little bit of a clip. I'm not gonna give y'all the whole video because y'all need to go to my line and check this shit out. But when he talks about getting in the bubble with them, I'm gonna give you a little bit of this one. Hold on.
Y'all ask what I'm saying to them. So now, whatever I say in her ear, she's gonna repeat back.
I am his at this moment. He owns me right now. That's right, Daddy Heff. He's been waiting to get his hands on my ass. He's gonna spank it just like I deserve.
Shy and innocent.
Once again, I'm telling you. Okay, I was all right.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Not I wasn't shy and innocent in Miami.
Okay, all right. All right. All right. I will take that. I will take that. Okay.
Yes.
Because definitely not. Definitely not.
Not
So
not at, not at that moment with Simone. That was I didn't know that.
listen, I already know. I already know. All right. Let's back up a little bit and tell the people about the sensual BDSM. I mean, because if you just use that first clip I played with the young
Mhm.
lady who, as Hustler said, definitely got nice booty to be spanked. You know, this isn't, I think, what we think of when we think BDSM and
Mhm.
spanking ass. It's not ferocious and aggressive and you don't see her wincing in pain. I think that picture is a good um kind of peek into what sensual BDSM looks like.
Yes. Well, one of my old associates, he was like, "Heff, man, you need to try this Dom stuff." I was like, "All right, I looked into it. And this will be about maybe like 2017. So I looked into it and really started studying it. And after having some wonderful conversations with Jess and Jasmine, the King Noir, and a few other people who I met at Exotica and Sex Down South, they really encouraged me to, you know, really make this my own experience, right? Make it my own, so that therefore the women who are either paying for my services or who buy them for me in demos or even on the floor at Exotic or conventions, that they feel immediate level of trust and know that they're safe and they're protected, right? So to use some of the techniques that I learned years ago with Tantra and really incorporating that in the BDSM, right? Because I know that from these women, they come and in their everyday lives they are very dominant in their everyday lives, even if they have kids or if they're working, they may be bosses at their work or whatever. They really want to surrender and let go, but it's about someone trusting that someone can earn that. And they come to me with immediate trust and know that I come from a space of unconditional love and trust. And I let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable. And if they fall back, I'm gonna catch them. And then and I asked them, I said, don't hold back, just give it all to me and allow me to take you on a journey.
Yeah. I
You know?
and I've actually heard you say that And if you are, say, new to this experience, this
Hmm.
lifestyle, to hear someone make that kind of statement sounds like another bar pickup line.
Mm,
But if you understand what it means to submit, and not submit in the sense of you have no control, no power, but in the sense that you're willing to let go of being in control and allow yourself to open up to the whatever happens, to the full extent of the pleasure. Because I think for a lot of us, like you described, that woman who's always in control, a lot of us literally even control our pleasure. We control how we experience our pleasure. So when you allow yourself to totally surrender, like you say, it's a different experience.
hmm hmm and that's the one thing I had to learn, the difference in surrendering and submission, because surrendering is a different level than submission, right? Like you could submit, but being able to fully surrender and being like, Calgon, take me away. Like, Daddy, take me away. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Let's go on this voyage to Atlantis and back. You know what I mean? Around the world 3, 4, 5 times. You know what I'm saying? And let's go. Let's go to. I call it the pleasure verse. Let's go there. You and I.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like I feel like I just want to sit back and even just mentally go to that space, because it is the kind of experience that once you have it, it's kind of like almost like a drug addiction, right? Like once you
Hmm.
have it, you're constantly chasing it. You're constantly trying to get back to that, as you call, pleasure verse. It's someplace you want to go, and you want to go all the time. You want to go every time.
Every
So
time.
you teach classes on BDSM, the sensual BDSM. So you're teaching other folks basically how to take that journey, how to
Hmm.
not just, I guess, for themselves, but to how to bring partners along on this journey.
That's correct.
What is that like? It's one thing to watch you spank that ass, but it's
Hmm.
another thing to teach other folks how to do that. And what is that like?
Well, for me, it's very rewarding because pretty much all I teach is exactly exactly the techniques that I go through in my private sessions. Well, I do it in a class type. Not really vanilla, but some vanilla people. There's some first timers and some people who really experience, but it's really more into a learning format versus going all the way in. But that the most important thing I teach is, if you have any malice or bad vibes, don't do it. Don't
Hmm.
Whatever you do, just, you may want to wait till a whole nother day. So once you're in a space where you're clear, you're confident, and and then you can just be be free. Like, you as the dominant can be free within yourself, and therefore your bottom, your submissive, your play partner, they can be free to trust you as well. And not only that, is make a connection. Let's make a connection first, right?
Right.
Let me, as we do some breath work and slow your breathing down, because I know you're nervous, right? I
Hmm.
know they're nervous, and I teach people, like, listen, your partner may be a little nervous because the anticipation of what may happen, right? You have done the negotiation part. You have talked about everything. You got your safe words. The boundaries. Your hard and soft limits. So once we have that foundation out the way, now let's get the business. And once we get the business, let's put up these. Let's put up 2 walls. Let's put up all these beams before we put the roof on, right? So when we do that, we start with, let me connect to your heart space, right?
Mm.
Because the number one thing is, let allow me to not only allow Mac to have consent to touch your heart. First of all, if you give me consent to touch your heart, then I'm coming from a space of pure authenticity,
Mhm.
right? No bullshit. I'm not here trying to run no games, right? And I tell people, this isn't for play. This is for real. When someone gives you consent to
Yeah.
to put your hand on their heart. What?
Yeah.
That's that's something that all of us, ever since we have been in relationships and learned how to relate with others, we've built up this wall around our heart, right? Like the trusting part, all that stuff, but our heart space, that's
That's a
you
no.
keep coming. You can walk in every. It's like when you go to an Airbnb and they had
That one
that one
closet.
closet door that's locked. You can't get in.
Yep.
Hey, give me that combination. I need to know. I'm just gonna peek in a little bit. If you let me in, I ain't gonna mess it up. I just want to see what's sitting there, and that's what it's about. Like let me allow me to connect to your heart space, right? And if you allow me, if you trust me enough and trust in yourself enough to allow me in, I just want to open it a little bit. And I teach people, just ask your partner if they're open it a little bit, because it's a place that once they let you in, once they allow you to come in just a little bit, don't fuck it up. Don't
Right.
listen. If they allow you to touch their heart and they let you in a little bit, and you fuck it up, it's over. It's a
It's
wrap.
over. And I think, it's important though how you say just a little bit, because unless you were in a long-term relationships with someone, you really only have that moment, right?
Mm-hmm,
So no need to try to move in, bring all your furniture, hang your
mm-hmm,
pictures and all of that. I like the way to describe it as just if you open a little bit, I just won't peek in,
yeah,
not gonna stay long. Hopefully, we both have a good time.
yes,
And
yes.
what I like, for me, one of the things that's always important to me about that is I like to encourage people to do a little bit. Just do a little bit. Just try a little bit. Take a little nibble, because the minute you do, you've now gone a little further than you were yesterday. So now it's easier to take you a little further because that little bit wasn't that bad. Actually, I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm,
Actually, I think I want a little bit more, you know?
yes,
And I
just
think that's what's so valuable about us as dominants, being okay with getting a little bit. Just
yep. Uh, don't listen. I don't want to eat the whole thing. Just let me eat a little bit at a time, right? Just a little bit, right?
right. Like what's that really corny joke is how do you eat a how was it? How do you eat an elephant?
Oh yeah. What is it? Well,
I think it's like how do you eat an elephant and it's like one bite at a time, right?
yes,
So
and it's like the center of the Tootsie Roll pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, take your time, go slow. Like you ain't trying to get to the bottom fast. The owl got there too fast. You don't want to go too fast. You want to just lick by lick. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I feel myself going into a dark space, and I'm trying to hold it.
okay, well, I'll give you a chance to breathe by putting up Ella's comment, which was not only that, but you are healing people that have sexual blockages.
Yeah,
Yes, doing the Lord's work.
gonna listen.
Now, and that's
I'm just a good evangelist out here healing.
let me just say, uh-huh, yes, take a sip. Exactly. That's facts though. Okay. I think we focus so much on the actions, we focus so much on the reactions, like you saw how I focused in on girlfriend clawing the
Yep.
table.
Yes.
But facts are, going back to this idea of opening up just a little bit, we don't know just how much has been jammed into that
Mhm.
space.
Yep.
So when that little crack happens and we're allowed to enter that space and give them the freedom to let go, give them the opportunity to experience something on another level, it stays with them. That energy, that moment in time stays with them, which is why it's also so very important that you don't fuck it up, because it
Yes.
stays with them, good, bad, and ugly. It stays.
It does.
Do you have experiences where you either did a class, taught some people, or had a session with someone who later was like, oh my God, that I'm not gonna say changed my world and whatever, but left them better than where they started.
Definitely, definitely. Matter of fact, I had a young lady this at this previous exotic in Chicago. I was doing they just popped a seminar on me. So I did one on negotiation. I started with negotiation, right? And I was just talking about it, and she said that her man was there, but the things that she learned, she talked to him about it, and he actually applied those things that I had taught her.
Mm,
And she said it was the most amazing experience that they've ever had. She said they've been doing it for a little bit, but she said he's much more in tune and better to her. Because really when you're in this thing, like you can as a dom, you can get so caught up, you spanking, choking, like you are all the way in, right? But the thing is you have to be multifaceted, and really not only be smack, but also pay attention. Like
right.
pay attention to what's going on. Talk to them. Like check on them. Like check on during play. Like is this just right or too much? Like, and always start slow, and it's always a whole process of that. And I've had people I've taught classes with, even people who have been in the BDSM lifestyle for 10 plus years. They tell me that something I taught and they applied it. It changed their dynamics. I was like, oh wow, and
Yeah.
that's it really is. And that's one thing I do. I tell women that whether we are doing something on the floor at Exotica or in my private sessions, or even if I'm doing a performance, I tell them you're gonna leave here way better than when you arrived. I don't know that. They like, oh really? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I get some women, they like, well, whatever, we'll see. Oh, really? All
Challenge.
right, you all right? Listen, I, I tell you that. Listen, I told this once. I said, listen, I don't know what you experienced before, but I guarantee you never had this experience.
And on that note, we're going to take a break and we're going to be back and talk a little bit more about some of them experiences. Hold on.
Watch Casey Carter and her co-host, Carrie Anthony and Desiree on Exotica TV's BoobTube, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Twitter at Exotica TV. Join the ladies each week as they talk about what's hot and what's not on TV, streaming, and in theaters. Don't miss them and Jay, the man behind the sound effects. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Exotica TV. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, so I'm back with my guest, Daddy Heff. Um, and Hustlers made a comment, you got to slow it down once in a while, especially touching her body. Let me say this, I think that applies even when I'm touching a man's body. I think we're always in a rush, and sometimes we're trying to move too fast, right? I mean, so with sensual BDSM, and I've watched you in multiple locations in multiple
Mhm.
settings, and there is nothing fast moving except maybe your floggers.
That's right. You know what I was thinking about the first time that you saw me was at the spot in Atlanta. It was just on my mind, and that was amazing. I was on stage. That was really great.
Yeah, you know what? So, and I'm sorry, I have to giggle at that because I think there was one time we were somewhere and you made reference to the fact that because I was there, you made sure to show off.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate
I am a professional show outer.
that. So, um, from what I understand, it's your anniversary.
Yes, yes. Okay, so all right, so this is actually the anniversary for both Black and Pink Healths. Back in 2010, I came up with the formula for Black Healths, which is the all natural God dick pill, and Pink Healths, which is the original vagina vitamin. So it's been May is always a special month for me because I was like, I get so busy and I'm like, oh man, I shouted out Pink Healths. I was like, hold up. I need to let everybody know about Black Health because Black Health was a major, major accomplishment for me, just coming out of that product space. Even though Pink Health was like a game changer, in the industry because before Pink Health, like stuff like female Viagra was just a myth. There wasn't really any sexual supplements on the shelves for women in anywhere. You could go into any sex store, gas station. There was zero for women. It was all for men. So Black Health is they're both my babies. I love them. I do.
And speaking of pink cups,
Oh,
let's talk about.
oh, the juicified pussy doodle cookie. Oh, let's make it clear: the plant-based juicified pussy doodle cookie.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it. First of all,
About it.
I'm sorry I didn't pull up my baby kitty video where she talked about her pussy doodle cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Her
Mm-hmm.
pussy doodle
Mm-hmm.
cookie. But let's
Yes.
talk about this cookie. First and foremost,
Sure.
does it taste like a snickerdoodle? Hell yeah. Okay, now we can talk about the cookie.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you this question before we go. Does it taste like it does not have any dairy in it?
No, it tastes like a snickerdoodle cookie.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's really funny about that is, I had the in the line of sexables, and I tell people what a sexable is. A sexable is a category that I created, which is any edible item that is infused with either Pink Health's original vagina vitamin or Black Health's God Dick pill. So
Okay, before the pussy doodle cookie, there was something
mhm,
else that you had me try.
that was the Juicified Pussy Treat, okay,
Hmm.
which is a chocolate drizzle strawberry brownie. Okay, so it reminds you of a chocolate covered strawberry, and that is fully infused. Everyone knows it doesn't have any THC, no CBD in it. That is fully infused with the herbal blend from Pink Health's the vagina vitamin. And then there's the God Dick treat, which is infused with the God Dick pill Black Health. I tell cats that, they're like, what's different in your product and stuff I could buy at the sex store? I'm like, well, none of them will activate your God Dick chi. Mine will, because it circulates right, right. And it may activate your kundalini too. We're gonna get deep, but it may do that, right? It may possibly do that. But so then, um, one of my bottles, I was in Atlanta one time, filming some content, and we were talking. And I was just like, man, I want to come up with something. She was like, you should do a snickerdoodle cookie. So we did a three-way through a call with Baby Kitty and sort of talking about it. And I challenged her. I was like, yo, I'm challenging you to make a plant-based snickerdoodle cookie. So that was a challenge first. And then once she perfected it, I was like, why don't you add some of the herbal blend from, Pink Health's herbal blend and see what happens? And when we added it, like she added it, and I brought 12 of them to Exotica in Chicago in 2020, right? Oh, no, 2021, excuse me.
Because
There
I
was no
have
Exotica
one.
2020.
I have
Yes,
one.
yes, she did have one. And so I gave 12 of them out. No, I gave I mailed some out. I think I mailed like 4 or 5 of them out, and I had maybe 6 for exotic. Cause I gave Casey one, I gave Ella one, and everyone was like, yeah. I was like, oh wow, like the taste was good. I was getting feedback, so
Mm-hmm.
when and I was like, well, it's a snickerdoodle, that's a pussy doodle cookie, so it is a phenomenal product. And
Yeah,
the
it
one thing
is.
I didn't, yeah, one thing I didn't take account, and I realized later, is that the same amount of blend that I put into the Juicy Five Pussy Treat brownies, we put in the Pussy Doodle cookies. I'm like, oh, that's yeah,
Okay, so
uh, yeah,
let me say this because I had the brownie treat. I I like this. I like this a lot, and I'm gonna tell you
hmm
why. Um, while I'm talking, I was trying not to do this while you were talking. I'll do it while I'm talking in terms of all this noise. The
yeah,
reason I like this, plain and simple, if I didn't tell you what this was, you would not know any different. Um, Straight up tastes like snickerdoodle cookie. Doesn't taste like snickerdoodle cookie with aftertaste. Doesn't like even the fact that it's plant based. You don't taste any of that. Like it doesn't stand out in any way that there's something different about it. And then there's a sense of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and and let me say that's my experience. Don't take my experience and say, well, I didn't say it like Casey felt. My experience is described as okay.
mm,
And I like that because it's not like it's not like when you drink an energy drink and like, 1 minute you're good and the next minute you're like, like no, it's like you eased, I eased. Again, my experience with the cookie. I eased into this sense of, you know, I can only describe it by making these faces. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have words for it. But that's what it is. It's this feeling of mm, yeah. Okay. So anyway, so you basically challenged Baby Kitty into making
yep,
the plant-based snickerdoodle and then dropping in the
yep,
pink F's
yep.
and an amazing product.
Yep,
Amazing.
got it. I mean, let me tell you something. Like, I cannot keep these things. Like, don't get me wrong, they all sell out, but those pussy doodle cookies, like, listen, people are like this one lady, I just sent 2 dozen out today. She was like, I gotta have 2 dozen for me and my girls when we go out of town. I'm like, oh wow. They on a trip to Aruba. They got 2 dozen. I'm like, oh wow.
Bro, Ruba, are you
Yeah, I'm like,
ready? There's about to be a hurricane,
I said,
and
I don't know what y'all about to do down there, but hey, it's
it's
not my
about
fault.
to be a hurricane.
It is.
Ah, so are there any other products, any other edible sexables coming?
Well, possibly.
Wait, hold that thought. I,
Yes.
I, I did want to shout out Miss Stephanie Smith here, who talked about the cookie absolutely tastes like snickerdoodle. I
Yes.
wanted to make sure I shouted out, girlfriend. Okay,
I know.
go ahead. Possible? What are we possibly looking at?
So, you know, just like people love snickerdoodle cookies, there is a large part of the population who love oatmeal raisin cookies, including me. Now, I'm gonna tell you, oatmeal raisin is my favorite cookie. It's sort of me tied with oatmeal raisin, and then right behind it is like 1A, like on the outline, you got one is oatmeal raisin, and then 1A under that is chocolate chip, and B is peanut butter cookies, right? So,
Hmm.
but so I'm wait. Once we get it right, um, that is going to be the orgasmic raisin cookie. Okay. So,
See, now you had me up until you said raisin,
yes, 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 yes.
because I love an oatmeal chocolate chip, and I can
Mm-hmm.
do oatmeal.
Yes.
You lost me at raisin, and
Yes. Yes.
I dislike raisins so much that I would probably pick the cookie apart to get the raisins. But I think because this cookie works so well, again, in terms of the taste and the fact that it genuinely tastes like what I know a snickerdoodle to taste like, if you get that right,
Mm. Oh yeah. Because trust, I took 12 of them up to Chicago and had different people try them out. Got some great reviews, but we got to do another test round. So whenever Baby Kitty, whenever she is back available to do them, then we've already figured out what we're gonna do different this time than the previous time in order to perfect them dang orgasmic raisin cookies. Because I'm gonna tell you, I already know. I already certain things. I already know just because I did a poll and survey on Instagram on both the King Heffs page and the Pink Heffs page, and overwhelmingly people were like yes to the oatmeal raisin cookies. Now there were some people out here who was like hell no, but there's a lot of people out there. When I say a lot of people.
and because oatmeal
like,
raisin, I don't like raisins, but I am not going to poo-poo the fact that that is a very popular cookie. I
yes.
personally like a chewy oatmeal cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get it right for the raisins, I'm just gonna put in a request for a chocolate chip version. But
Listen. Let me tell you something. I have done custom. This one lady wanted she wanted a paint. She said I want some juicified pussy treats with no chocolate on. I was like, you just want a strawberry? She was like, yeah. I was like, well, you got to buy the whole pan because that's a custom order. So she bought the whole pan and she loves them. So if you want oatmeal chocolate chip, okay. If you want oatmeal chocolate chip walnut like DoubleTree cookies, yes, we'll do it.
okay. Well, you
If
let
that's
me
what
know when you get the oatmeal raisin right,
yeah.
and then we'll go down that road.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
I'm gonna take another quick break, and then we gonna talk about what's coming up next for Daddy Have, where we can find Daddy Have, where we can play with Daddy Have. I'm gonna leave that right there for y'all to think about. Okay.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going on track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up.
So
Yeehaw, huh?
I'm sorry. I actually picked that simply because of the yeehaw. So Toxic said, I don't do raisin. What Casey is saying. So it looks like you got minimally 2 orders for oatmeal chocolate chip. So
Okay, no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming up next week. Okay, first of all, I didn't say what I always say when I met somebody at Exotica, but I met Heff at Exotica. At this point, Exotica needs to be paying me for talking about the fact that I meet all my guests at Exotica. But anyway,
No, hold it. No. I think we met initially at Apache. Because remember at Apache, or was it Exotica?
No, it was Exotica. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what it was. Because so at Exotica, New Jersey in 2017,
No.
Exotica, New Jersey, I met initially King and Jasmine.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So then 2018 Chicago, I met you and DV Passion.
Oh, that's right.
And
And then later on that summer, I saw you at Apache.
right.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we made back
Mhm.
to what I was doing a second ago.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
So my guest for next week is yet another person I have met at Exotica. This is why I really need Exotica to just be running my show on Exotica TV because most of my guests come from Exotica. Thank
yeah.
you. So my guest next week is Kimmy Kaboom, multi-award winning Southern Belle BBW. Kimmy and I, we met at Exotica. And basically, so, okay, all right. Heff, let me tell you how I met Kimmy. So, 2017, I went to Sex Expo in Brooklyn. I met,
Mm,
oh my God, I met Toro the Don and Ashley Sparks at
yes,
Sex Expo. And we
yes.
had a good old time and we were hanging out. And Ashley was like, hey, are you coming to Exotica? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm coming to Exotica. So Lorenzo and I come to Exotica in New Jersey, and we just post up at the Clips for Sale booth. We just hung out in the booth. Met Neil, who owned Clips for Sale at the time. Never occurred to me we were not supposed to be posted up in the booth since we were not affiliated with
Yes.
Clips for Sale. So you know how they say, like people tell you to act like you're supposed to be there and nobody's gonna
Yes.
say anything to you.
Yeah.
That's that right there. That right there. Like rather than ask me who am I and what am I doing in the booth, Neil was like, "You want to sign up? You want to be a part?" Like, and so Kimmy was one of the people in the booth, and that's how we met. And Kimmy Kaboom is known for let me just scroll back for a second here. She's known this. She's known
Oh
for
yes. I know you talking about it. Yep.
yeah. So
Yes.
Kimmy is known for her boobs.
Yeah.
And what cracks me up is every time she sees me, she's all up in my cleavage. And I'm like, wait, you actually like named yourself after the cleavage. And yet you want to talk about mine. So this should be interesting. She and I going back and forth, fangirling
Yeah.
over each other's cleavage and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and let me, okay, so here's the other thing. She sent me her bio. Oh my God. It was like this
Oh
long.
wow.
Yeah. The awards, the movies she's been in. She's even got a, oh my God, what's the Black Awards? What's the Black Awards? Help me here.
The
The
Urban
oh the
Awards.
Urban X Awards, right?
She got one of those.
Mm.
I'm gonna just let that lay there so y'all can figure out why that's a big deal.
Yeah, that,
But anyway, so that's my guess for next week. But now, in these last few moments, so aside from wait, you are going to be in Miami, right?
you best believe it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so aside from being at Exotica Miami in
Mhm.
July 15th through 17th, if you did not catch that on that promo I ran a little while ago, where else are you going to be and what else will you be doing?
Well, this weekend actually I'll be in Atlanta for Kinked Up ATL.
Oh, right, the weekend.
Yeah. So, Madam Gumbo, I'm gonna be very formal with her name here.
Yes.
Madam Gumbo requested me because I've been associated with Kicked Up ATL since the beginning, so I'll be there this weekend. June for me is a month where I've got to figure out when exactly I'm gonna do another class. I think I'm gonna do my negotiation class on Zoom, my seminar on Zoom, and then I'll be doing some travel and some private sessions. But July is on and popping, right?
Ooh, what's
Because
going on in July?
well, July, I got Exotica in July, and I do have to travel some more places. After that, then in August, I will be in Detroit. And not only did I get booked to perform at one event that night, but on the same day, I got booked to perform at a day party the same day in Detroit. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem.
You about to be on and popping. On
Yes,
and popping. Okay, so now let's just go to August for a second because
yes,
it's interesting that I have the two of you
yes.
on at the same time
You,
and the
you
word
know, you,
August.
you, you, you got all this August 25th Virgo energy up in here, right? All right. So I
That's
get it.
right.
That right there.
Once I
Yeah,
found out that Lorenzo's birthday on my same day, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Yeah.
yeah. We've been talking about that, and definitely maybe next year we're gonna have to do something for August 25th.
Well,
I agree.
Definitely.
here's what's funny is one of those August 25th, we was in your neck of the woods and you were not.
Oh, that's right. You were. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think y'all were here and I was in New York, I think, or
I,
somewhere. I was at the beach or something. I can't remember.
I
One of them things.
and it was funny because I'm like, when am I ever in Greensboro? When
I
ever?
know. I know. I know. I know.
But we had a good time. So it's all good. It's all good. So now on the little ticker scroller here, I got all kinds of links for Heff here.
I see that. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a it's like the stock market ticker tape right there.
Yeah, and I intentionally made it slow so that folks could grab something, you know.
Yes. Yep.
Um but if like in the next few minutes,
Hmm.
what tip could you give someone that they could use today to start exploring sensual BDSM?
Um. Okay. So
Wait,
it's
wait.
okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. You know what? I asked that question and immediately something actually came to mind. Something that someone said to me. Um, Duchess Cashmere. She talked about the fact that you were teaching her how to Florentine flog, but
Hmm.
what what it really reminds me of is when I spanked her in the booth, in the sexpert booth, someone was watching the video of me doing that, and they actually referenced you.
Oh, really?
Yes, they referenced you in terms of how I was spanking her and how they said that's how you had taught to spank. So if you
Oh, wow.
yeah, if you could talk about the hand technique, that would
Yeah.
be really good.
All right. So I'm a real quick because I know we got to go.
I'm not
So
rushing you on this. Go ahead, take your time.
all right. So all right. So
Sorry,
I
I
tell people
didn't
this.
know.
Here's my thing. This is me. This is my personal. This is like one of the most controversial arguments in BDSM. Me personally, I feel that in order to be a good dom, you have to know what it is to be a submissive too, right? So I've known what it is in order to be hand spanked because Jess and Jasmine hand spanked me. She at Sex Now South one year. I came up to her. She said, "I'm gonna spank you, Heff." I was like, "All right." So I came up to her. I pulled my pants down, and she started spanking my ass right in front of everyone. So that technique she used, I started using that technique once I started having private sessions, even when I was doing performances. But there's this one part of the ass where she'll do this right here and come up like this, but really it's more like this. Like it's almost like
Move
you
your
coming
hand,
up.
slide your hand over a little bit more towards in front of your face, right there.
So it's like this almost. It's not now
Right.
it's this here too, but it's also this. So it's almost like you grazing up, right? Almost like you're grazing up. And that's how I came up with my booty tenderloin activation technique.
And so here's what's interesting about that technique. Um, Speaking from myself, I also found that I can do that longer than
Mm-hmm.
that direct
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, if I'm not trying to be in, kind of a pain space, that technique also gets that booty
Mm-hmm.
available to
That's
you
right.
longer.
That's right. That's right. It gets it. It's it's like it's that meat tenderizer. You tenderizing that booty. You know, what I'm saying, that booty meat just right for when it's time to go harder. Because trust me, I tell people this is all breathing in, breathing out. It's
Yeah.
all those things. It's all those things. But trust me, there's a lot of sadistic stuff happening, right? There's a lot of sadistic intent in that thing, but at the same time, it's still loving, it's
Right.
peaceful, it's centered, it's healing. But just know that at any moment you can either you can be a strike three, or you can be in a closet, or you could go home. One of them, one of them things. Oh yes. Oh my God. So you best believe I bring my clothespins to the lab. I know. Yeah, I know, man. You know.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I can't wait. This is gonna be so delicious.
So, okay, so wait, I got one more clip I didn't run, but it's
Oh,
from the Kink Gala that was recently happened here in Atlanta,
oh
where Daddy
man.
Heff did use them clothespins. I thought I would lose my mind when I saw
Oh
the
yeah.
clothespins come out. But this is actually not that moment. This is another moment that, well, I'm a run it and I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Okay.
So
Uh,
that was like at the end of the performances, but
mm,
just prior to the end of the night, we packed up in this one playroom like
yeah.
fucking sardines.
Yes.
I mean, it got hot and sweaty up in this room. There was so
Yes.
many of us in there to watch Daddy Heff do his thing. And this was one of the young ladies that you plucked out of that audience, right?
Yeah. She like I said, she came down the altar call. You know what I'm saying? Many are called, but the chosen a few, and she answered the call. She,
So there's a moment where you see her hand, and if you pay attention, because I love watching just those little things, and if you pay attention, you see her hand is placed on your hand. She doesn't necessarily grab you, but when she placed her hand on your hand, you then see your hand release momentarily. Was
hmm
that a sign for you?
yes, because in our quick negotiation, right? I told her, I said, listen, if my hand is if it gets too tight around your throat, either squeeze my wrist or tap my hand, right? And what I found out is the hand tap is really a lot more. It's easy to remember than squeezing the wrist for some bottoms, just because when you're choking and you're restricting the breathe, the air, um, mentally, can't remember to squeeze the wrist, but they can.
Right.
So once they do that, I just let off a little bit, and then I apply some more pressure, right? Because
So,
like,
okay, and then that takes me back to this idea of trust
mm-hmm,
because again, her hand was it just laid on your hand. She didn't like grab in panic. She just
mm-mm.
gently laid it on your hand. So there was still a level of trust. And understand, this was a stranger to you, correct?
That's right. I didn't know her.
As but she was this is the girl that was sitting over here next to me at the time, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So this is a stranger to you. You're busy choking her out. Okay, maybe not choking her out. That's what Lorenzo does. But you're choking her, and she just gently places her hand on you to get your attention.
Yes. Oh yes.
And so, and again, I didn't pull my knife clip because
Oh man.
that's another
Good.
true test of
Ooh.
trust. See, he had to take a sip on that one because
Hey, let me tell you, when that knife come out,
we are not playing games anymore.
it's no good. And so, in the negotiation part, when I'm pulling out all the tools and I pull out the knife, and the bottom is willing to consent to knife play. Mm, mm.
Yeah. So again, if you go to my IG line, the Casey Carter Experience, you will see the video of King Heff's knife play with Simone Sky.
Oh yes.
And you get a lot of, well, you got to pay attention, let me just say this, but you get to see a lot of little different things that happen in the moment, and I want you to understand he is grazing this knife across her skin with all this stuff going on in the background. I mean, how do you maintain focus with all those distractions?
Well, like I said, once again, I'm in this bubble. We get in this bubble, and it's just and I'm always paying attention to how they're reacting anyway. So when I added the knife to my tool chest, mm, it was just natural. Like the first time I picked it up, I picked the knife up and I grazed it across a woman's skin, and she gave me the permission. I was like, oh, and at that time it was like a butcher knife, like it was a real kitchen knife, and I used it. I was like, oh my. And like, so give for example, this past weekend in LA, I performed this erotic opera, and one of the many requests from both of my bottoms were some knife play, and I have this one bigger black knife, and one of the bottoms, she was like, please spank my ass with a knife. I was like, your wish is my command. And the crazy part of we were at a podcast the day before, and they were asking me like, you got all these tools, Ayla, what you gonna do with that knife? And the bottom who asked me to spank her ass with a knife, I told her to lift her neck up, and I said, can I rub the knife point right here on your neck? Oh my God, it was so intense in there, like the energy. The host was like, what is, she was like, I had to go change my panties. I was like, well, you be having this sometime. I mean, but
And I think, and because I only know a handful of people that engage in knife play. So when I saw you break out the knife, I was like, ooh.
oh,
Oh.
let me say something. I always have it in my bag with me, but when I ask a question, because in negotiation, I may want to use some things, it may not get used. And when I asked Simone, I was like, do I have your consent to use a knife on you? She said, yes, Daddy. I was like, oh my God. I had to clutch my pearls. I was like, oh, like, like the sadistic shadow side of me was like,
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm tell you one thing though. When I learned how, let me tell you, when I learned how to do fireplay, it's gonna be over.
Oh, it's a wrap then?
Listen, it's gonna be. I can't wait.
See,
I'm,
and the sad thing about that is you're not going to be able to do that on Exotica's floor.
no, definitely not. No.
That's the
However,
sad thing about that. So
I know
I'm gonna
because
need you to do that here in Atlanta so I can
yeah, so,
capture that.
nice little performance. And let me tell you, once I learn it and I learn how to do it safely, I cannot wait to use it on somebody's daughter. I can't wait to put. I can't wait to use these hands, right? These healing hands, and use that knife and use that fire.
Now, and I have witnessed fire play,
Oh, so incredible.
and just the same way that Simone was still and ever present during the knife play was the same thing I saw during the fire play. I was on edge
Yeah.
because this was at a leather event here in Atlanta. We were
Ooh.
in a suite, and the fire play was a part of the demo that was happening, and I'm on, like, I'm literally like, if I could have, my hands would have been clutched into the wall, because I'm like, you know but watching it, watching them light the skin and then put out the fire and light the skin and put out the fire, and
Uh,
I was
um,
hypnotized, mesmerized. It
the,
was.
the, the first time I ever saw it was at Sex Down South, and I was just like, I gotta learn that. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Casey.
Mhm.
I will be performing at the Big Bang at Sex Down South.
Okay. Mm. So I guess between now and then, you trying to perfect that fire play.
Oh, well, I gotta learn it first.
Oh, okay,
Once,
okay, okay, okay. So maybe not there.
no, 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 no. I want. I'm honest with myself. I don't think I'm gonna be ready then, but I'm a quick study. But because night, fireplace is very similar to night play. Any stuff can go wrong real quick, right?
Right.
So, like, it's just once I perfect it and do it right. Like, I'm not gonna perform it in front of a crowd, just being a novice.
Right.
Mm.
I got you.
Once I get
So,
that thing, mm,
so I had mentioned that Lorenzo was.
oh,
So, Lorenzo, what is
Yeah.
one of your favorite? I'm gonna say tour, because
Well,
he
what
heavy
what
handed.
I will, yeah, what I will say is, um, I'm trained in severe sensory deprivation,
oh,
extreme extreme impact,
Extreme.
um, e- all the way to putting unconscious to disfigurement, bone
Okay, yeah,
breakage.
we're not gonna let you talk
wow,
about disfigurement.
So, but
wow,
what
wow,
what
wow.
what I will say, what I will say, is that for people that are hearing what Heff is talking about and everything, don't just try these things
No, no, no.
because there's a lot of danger, and you really have to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a joke.
Mm-mm.
Some of the things that can be done. So take it very serious. When he says what he's doing like that. I will say
And,
that.
and
And
that's
so
like,
and and
and that.
and I
Um,
appreciate you saying that, Lorenzo, because I wanna reiterate the fact that Hef is very clearly said, I want to be comfortable. I want to know that I know what I know before I go on out here up in
That,
public
that, that
performing.
that's very important. No matter how much you know. I mean, I have 40 years in training, and you never know everything. So,
mm,
take it very serious.
right. And that's
Whatever's being done.
and I tell people, even in my classes, especially with choking, like, you can't, like, you have to know how there's a way to choke, because and everybody's neck is different, right? You may some people may like it down here, some people may like it here, people may like it all the way up here.
Right.
But and that's the one thing you have to see, and even every neck in your hand is different,
Hmm.
right? So you gotta get it right, but you can't be playing around, because there anyone who's watching, who's just getting into this, think about it. There is no gray area, and when it comes to BDSM, it's either on the left side, yes, having fun, on the right side, in a hospital, or the back of a police car. It could go to the right real quick,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, really, really quick.
Yeah. So, Lorenzo was a retired law enforcement officer. And, we had done a quick series, and we'll have to pick it up again in 2022. But we had done a quick series called KC Safety Tips featuring Lorenzo.
Hmm.
And some of the things that he and I had talked about, well, we hadn't even gotten all the way to doing that in the safety tips, but some of the things that he and I had talked about based on his experience had to do with people living the lifestyle and what happens when the police show up at your door, and the kinds of things you should and should not say when they ring that doorbell.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and
we.
people have to remember BDSM per se what you do to people is never legal anywhere. So
Nowhere.
yeah,
Right.
you have to really be able to articulate the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, he and I had started this during the series, and that was one of the topics we wanted to go over and kind of go in depth. And I'm thinking, Lorenzo, I think it might be kind of
Hmm.
fun to have a part of the conversation just in terms of the things that, he teaches people to do, and then you being able to explain to people, here's what you
Hmm.
do if the police come to your door.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh,
That would work out. That would work out. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because, on top of the fact that you are law enforcement, you are also, got all
Hmm.
these years of lifestyle experience. So it also puts you in that juxtaposition of going to the dungeon that in your uniform
Hmm.
and then going to the dungeon
Yeah, and
uniform.
performing. Yeah,
So,
this
yeah,
should be interesting.
yeah,
yes. I
yeah,
look forward to that.
yes.
Because realistically, that series is very much needed out here.
Hmm.
It really is.
Yeah, I think people they see you, for example, do what you do. Because I love running, your clips. I love for people to see, first of all, to see you stick out your tongue and bite your lip and all of that stuff. Because then they get to see the pleasure that you have in doing it. But then they also get to see the nails dragging across the table and the eyes roll into the back of the head. And therefore it's obvious everybody's having a good time, but what they don't see is what you do to prepare. They don't
Mm.
see that, we're trying stuff. Like I remember Lorenzo was taking pictures of me cracking my whip, and let's just say, like Denzel said in Training Day, I'm surgical.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
there was a couple times where I popped that whip and it hit the camera, it hit Lorenzo. Why? Because I was looking dead at him. But but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was a level of trust because he didn't even move. He didn't flinch. He took it, but there was a level of trust. But under different circumstances,
Oh, she
you
was
know.
out.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
But
this is why not only do you need to know how to do what you do, but you also need to know what to say if the doorbell rings and the blue is on the other side of the door. So, stay
yeah,
tuned for
no,
that
let
conversation.
me add to what you're saying too. As I always say, we have these dial a dummy, as I call them. For 1995, you'd be a dom tonight, and if you order in the next 5 minutes, two could be a dom. And that's what's going on out here. You have a bunch of
Yeah.
jokes and a bunch of garbage, and people are
Yep.
giving their lives up and their trust
Yep.
to people that don't even know what they're doing.
Yep.
And it's affecting a lot of people.
It
This
is.
mental illnesses and suicides and all that. So
Mm.
Yeah.
this has
And,
to be weeded out because there's too much garbage out there.
and realistically, like, I used to do performances at this one little variety show, right? And after a while, I just got tired of doing it because well, it was time for me to go, but it got to the point where I would meet people, and they were like, "Man, Heff, I saw what you did on stage, and I used it on my girl that night." I'm like, "Were you drinking?" "Yeah, we were drunk." "Oh." And so for me, I was just like, man, I'm pretty. If something happens to somebody, I'm pretty much held. I feel accountable for that
Right.
because all they do, they just see a 10 to 15 minutes performance on stage, and they're like, I'm gonna do exactly what
Mm-hmm.
he did, or I'm gonna do exactly what she did, and not knowing that, ding dong, who
Mm-hmm.
is it? PD. You be like, oh
Yeah.
hell,
Or you
right?
got to pick up the phone and call 911.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like, I don't
What
know
you
what
gonna
happened
say then?
because you don't know. Like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta. Like I remember early, and I tell people this all the time. Like I remember when I first started, and I was learning how to choke, and I was choking a woman too long, and she fell out. I was like, oh hell! And I'm glad I ain't had no bad back, right? You see what I'm saying? Because when she did that, my military training kicked in. I was like, oh, so I had to. I was like, I'm combat lifesaver. I had to help her and make sure she was okay and had her on the ground and stuff. And I was like, you okay? And once she came back, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay, sir. Listen, I only need to learn one time.
Right,
Listen,
right.
I don't need 2-3 times. After that, now I got it. Now I know, like, I can sense when it's almost too much, and I'm gonna release a little bit just so they can get their breath, and then I'm gonna keep going. But listen, y'all. If y'all think this is not 50 Shades of Grey. This is not stuff you see on YouTube. This is not your stuff you see on Instagram, Twitter. None of that. Everyone, all these professionals you see who do this, they're professional. They've been doing this a long time. They just didn't start. And you have to understand that you have to play very safely out here and be very cognizant of what you're doing. Because, like I said, at some moment it could be the police or you could be calling 911.
Yeah. And
Not,
on that note,
yeah.
I know y'all were like all giddy with the choking and the spanking and a little bit
Yeah.
of technique, and then
Yeah.
it went to the left, and I got all serious on you about it. But you know what? I'm gonna do that because I think it's important. I think
It
it's
is.
important that we get you not just excited about doing it, but cognizant of what could go wrong and how to be prepared for the what could go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anywho, I want to say thank you, Heff, for
Oh, thank
being
you for
on the
having me,
show.
Casey.
Absolutely,
Yes.
my pleasure. And I'm always looking for you to spank ass. Like the one thing I'm always asking Heff is, so who we spanking?
Also, I'm let you know right now. I have 2 ladies who already told me they coming to Miami, so I'm gonna let you know exactly when they're gonna be there, cause
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
wait. Like
yeah.
the last time I spanked both of them was 2018 Exotica Miami.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they ready. Like
Okay.
they way past ready.
Oh, they way past ready. Long
Yeah. So
overdue.
long overdue,
Long
son.
overdue. All
Hey,
right.
but check this out, Casey. Heff is very excited about that and these ladies that are coming to Miami, and I see that in his eyes. But there was a look in his eyes when you were spanking Cashmere.
Oh
He
man.
went into his zone because he was
Yes, sir.
standing next to me talking like that.
Yes.
He said, "Boy, she gets it like that." It's like
I see it. I was like,
he went into a zone.
yeah. I was like, but I wish I could do it like that.
Uh-huh.
And y'all are sitting there going, "What are they talking about?" Go to my Instagram.
My goodness.
Yeah, I had the distinct pleasure of spanking Duchess Cashmere in Chicago, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't play a lot in public, but I did actually enjoy that quite a bit.
I enjoyed watching it.
I enjoyed that. I may have
Mhm.
to spank more often. Ah,
You should. I
yes.
think.
You think you should? All right. Well, it is settled. All right. So again, thank you, Heff. I look forward to seeing you in Miami.
Yes, I look forward to seeing you too. You
And
and Lorenzo.
Mhm.
As you
We'll have to scare some people on the
yeah,
plane again.
yeah, as you call him, ever ready, Lorenzo. I heard that part. Uh-huh.
ever ready, ever ready, ever ready, ever ready. All right. Because I got 6 minutes to make it to my next program. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in Chicago, Miami.
Miami, yes.
But definitely when Lorenzo and I get ready to have that conversation about the what do you do when the popo comes, I want to
Mm.
bring you in on that because again, like
Okay.
I said, we see you out there doing these different things, getting people hyped and excited about doing them, but we definitely want them to know what to do. A, if something goes wrong, and B, if that doorbell rings when the flashing lights out there. So
Okay.
All right, y'all. You know where I'll be at 9 o'clock. So meet me on YouTube at Exotica TV for the next episode of BoobTube. Or I'll see you next week at 7 a.m. right here. All right. Bye.